Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Grown Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today is Thursday. It's March 31st of 2022. The temperature's dropped from yesterday. It's 38 degrees Fahrenheit or 3 degrees Celsius. Supposed to get a rain and snow mix tonight, but who knows. But today I'm going to try to answer a little bit of Matt's question until I can find out from Erwin from Reforestation on the Micus and Azus that Matt was asking about, and then I'm going to show the arrivals. Now, Matt wanted to know, does the Azus wash out? Well, I think it depends on the soil mix you use. If you use something like this or something like this and you do a real heavy watering, it might. Also with the fluoride, but what you can do, if you're afraid of it washing out, and let's say, Tom, I spent all that money. So what I did, I mixed 1 tablespoon of Azus to a gallon of water, mixed it up real good, and then what you can do is you can take your media, measure it to the cup that you're going to do, and you can put your Azus in there, like that. And this way here, your beneficial bacteria will attach itself to the media. You can let it sit for about 15-20 minutes, however long you want. Or, let me get Mr. Hawes out of the way. Or you can make it a tablespoon of, not a tablespoon, it's 1 part Azus to 2 parts water. So that's what I did here, and then you can just dip your roots in here and then pour the rest into your soil. Now, if you use a soil like I do, with a little bit of peat in there or worm castings, then you can just put it on your roots and then just put it in. It should hold in pretty good. But you can just let it sit and soak, and then take this, dump it into a cup, the water, the excess water. And then after you get done repotting your soil and you watered it real good, then use that water with the Azus in there and just put it back into the mix that you repotted your trees with. So, Matt, I hope I answered a little bit, but I also asked Erwin, so let's see what he says. So whatever Erwin gives me an answer, I'll let you guys know. So it's something that you can try, and if you're afraid, just mix it and just put it in. I'll show you how when I do the arrival. The arrival that I got in today, I wanted to try something different, so I bought a Pachypodium bispinosum. Not good at pronouncing stuff. So in the directions it says it requires like a 70-30 mix of soil to perlite. So I think if you got a good cactus mix, it should work. Plus I took like 3 cups of the cactus mix and I put in a half a cup more of perlite for giving it a good drainage, because they don't want you watering this but like twice a week. Here's the plant, and all these fuzzies are on there is what they packed it in. It's the polyester that you pack pillows with, or you use for aquariums to clean the filters. In your filter to absorb the gunk from the fish. So Mr. Rabbit was holding it for me. So Mr. Rabbit, there you go. And you can get this. This guy was, where did I get him? I got him for 50% off at Michael's. So I think I'm going to put another rabbit's foot fern in there. But let's open this up and let's get down to the nitty gritty. I let it sit for a couple hours to warm up. They had a heat pack in there, and they packed this thing so good with all kinds of paper to keep it warm, and paper is a good insulator. So let's see what the roots look like, and let's see how the bulb looks. So let's get all that out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. Shake off the soil. Now there's your roots. Now I think I'm not going to cut this. I'm just going to try to spread them out for now, because I really don't have a super big pot for this. So this should fit in here pretty good. And I'm just going to use the cactus mix in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my meat goose and put it in there. Tom, what'd you do with your meat goose? Here it is. There we go. And I'm not going to cut these because then I can't water it in. Because you really do have to let them dry out. So I'm going to try to spread them out the best I could. But maybe in this pot it would be better. I got the screen in there. This is just from the Dollar Tree or the $1.25 tree. So what I'm going to do is put him in Mr. Rabbit for now. He might even grow good in Mr. Rabbit. So let's get our potting soil that we mixed up. And we're going to put it on the bottom here. Now I might not have enough, but as long as it's a fast draining on the bottom here, that should hold it in good. So let's just get it in there. And then we're going to spread the roots the best we can. Flatten it out. Now that's good because it's really got a nice little radial root base if we can get it in there. But this is a downward facing root. So we're just going to put it like this until we can get this thing established and get it to grow. But this pot might not be good enough. It might not hold. Whereas this one might be a little better. So, Tom, what are you going to do? You got the screen cut for this one. So, in a pinch, what can one do? Paper towel. Always come in handy. Rip it and stick it. Now, your beneficial bacteria in here will also colonize the paper towel. So, it'll also go onto the roots real good. So, let's get some of our soil in here. I'm not going to cut nothing on it yet because it had a long journey from Florida. That's Paradise Found Nursery. That's where I got it from. And all I'm going to do is put the roots like this. I don't care if they twirl around. We can always give this a nice repotting in the summertime when I can cut the roots and have it establish itself a little better. We're going to put it off to the side for now. Let the roots flow out this way. I don't know if you can see it if I'm in the way. Let me get it down more. Now this thing has a lot of thorns. I'm not going to worry about what's the front, what's the back, or turning it around. I want this to warm up and start to grow a little bit, and then we can always cut the roots back. There we go. Let's take our mix, dump it back in the bucket, get the screen out, throw it over there, and before I do that, we're going to get Mr. Meat Goose here. You got to wear long sleeves when you're doing this, because sometimes you need 3 hands, because this thing's got thorns like you wouldn't believe. And all I'm doing is putting the meat goose in there. The meat goose is a nice granular, so that shouldn't wash out on you, especially on some of these soils, because it'll attach itself to the root real good. So, Tom, what are you looking for? The soil mix. So we're going to just put it in, just like that. Now these roots are too big for me to do a root dip. So all I'm going to do is take that mixture of meat goose. There we go. Just like that. Put it in. Get it in pretty good. Touch it in. Jabbing into the roots real nice. Push the soil into the pot. You can see how nice that is. Then we're going to take our little mixture here, and we're just going to put it, well, before we do that, remember what I said, we got to take the surface tension out. Well, that's what we're going to do. Then I'm going to have to find a nice warm spot for it in the basement. I'm thinking I'll put it by the fish tanks where it's warm, because the tanks are giving off heat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mixture of azus, and I'm just going to water it in, just like that. There we go. Now we got a little bit more in the bottom. So what I did though, is I mixed a gallon of it, tablespoon per gallon. And we're just going to put it in. And then with this, I'm going to water all the rest of my plants. Give them a nice little drink of water. And now, let's get our soil mix. See, in the wintertime when you order plants, it's no good. I got to remember that. But I couldn't pass up the deal from Paradise Found. It was a nice, good plant. Look at this, look how big it is. And there's a root coming out there, but we're not going to do nothing to that yet until it's nice and sunny out and warm out, where I can really take advantage of getting this thing nice. So that's all we're going to do right there. Push it in, push it in, push it in, push it in. Just like that. There we go. There we go, just like that. Now we're going to get a little bit more into here. Oh, that's the kids playing in the hallway. They must have their cousins over, the grandkids. So excuse the noise, everybody. Okay, so let's get that in there. This is a good cactus mix from Schultz. It's got a lot of it's got perlite, it's got some wood in there, so it's not bad at all. There goes the dogs barking. What are you gonna do? That's life. So just like that. Now I put some of the mix into the Mr. Hawes's watering can. So all I'm gonna do now is give it a good little watering. If the water runs out, there's going to be a lot of beneficial bacteria stuck to this mix. Now the meat goose, if you want to do the same thing, you can also get the meat goose and you can wet that if you want to. If you just got meat goose and nothing else, and that'll dissolve in water too, and you'll be able to attach it to the roots. There we go. Get it in like that. Now this is all the water it's going to get for 2 whole weeks. You can see it. It's not draining out fast, but it's draining out. And now, to hold it down, I'm going to use my... I gotta move you out of the way so I can get by. Well, let me get around the corner here so you can see the plant. There we go. Get my old tags out of the way. Now these you can use to get them at not Michael's, Hobby Lobby. What you do is, if you don't know how to water stuff, stick it in, let it sit for a couple of minutes. If it comes out wet, water it. If it doesn't come out wet and it comes out dry, like now you can see it's wet. If it's dry, then you water it. But these are cheap. You get, I don't know, maybe 500 in a bag for a couple of bucks. So if you got, or you can just go to the store and get some wooden toothpicks and the flat ones and do the same. It's cheaper. So all I'm going to do is stick some of the Peace River in. And then this is going to sit all night over here in the basement. Put a little rock there. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to let this little guy relax, and then I'll make a label for it. And that should turn out just right. There we go. Now this is I'm gonna let this dry. So I'm gonna put it where the sun in the east window where the denium is, and that one's starting to grow good. There we go, just like that. See that? Just like that. And there we go. So we'll let it dry out. That's the plant. Oh, I'm crooked on you. There we go. There's the plant. Get a little closer, you can see the leaves on it. So let's see what develops out of it. And then if it starts growing, another branch, I can cut it. And we'll see what happens. And then we got that dry piece there. I already cleaned my needle nose and just cut that right off. Get that out of there. Yes, I wipe them in my pants. What are you going to do? They're dirty, but that's life. So today is Thursday. Get yourself a hot cup of tea. Find yourself sit in your easy chair, your chair, your favorite chair. Get a good book and sit back and look through it. Now this is Woody Plants in the Winter by Core and Amons. Now I got this for $9.95. And I got this when I went to landscaping school because our instructor wanted us to do it. But you can see they give you good details in here about everything, what to look for and how to identify your tree. They give everything in here. So you got a table of contents here, but it's actually, it's a step-by-step identification. So if it's a foliage evergreen, you go to step 2. If it's a foliage deciduous, you go to step 31, and then you follow all the steps until you can find. See, there's like how many steps are in here? I forgot. It's got close to, it's 235 steps to help you look for the tree, and then it gives you a little bit about it right there. Something like that, but it's a very good book. It was $10 back in the day when I was in landscaping school, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's good for North America here, so something to look for if you can't identify a plant. So okay, I'll leave you guys alone. Let's hope this little one survives the cold that it went through. It had a heat pack in there. It was packed. Had so much paper in there. The box was 3 times the size of this, so they had it packed good. So Paradise Found, thumbs up. Good packing. So don't forget, good book, cup of tea, sit in your favorite chair and relax, or look up some of your videos that you haven't seen, and then just sit back with a good book, relax, cup of tea, and you're good for the day. So you take care, everybody. Have a good night, and I hope it doesn't snow, just rain. Snow's supposed to be further north of us, so fingers crossed. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.